Hayden Speckhardt out of Team Jukow in Schenectady and Clifton Park. Another local guy. Very humble guy again as well. You know.
Do you have any thoughts on this one on paper? Who appears to be slight favorite underdog?
I mean, it's going to be, what is this fight? What is the style of this fight going to look like? If it's going to be a dirty boxing fight, if it's going to be a standing clinch fight, if it's going to be a fight where Jahliel Palmer can get on top, I really think that that's where he's going to have his advantage. No, sorry. They were asking us if it was a title fight. Sorry, folks. Hayden Speckhardt, if he can keep this at distance, utilize his technique, and win through effective striking and grappling, he could really win this through decision.
Well, and not only that, but if you're Hayden Speckhardt too, and you win this fight, you may have an opportunity to go and possibly fight for a title against a guy like Jordan Scrum and avenge that loss, perhaps.
Or
Joe Poirier. Absolutely,
both
absolutely.
Both of these guys will have a legitimate
shot
fight and at least asking about that opportunity.
I would agree. Both these men will be fighting tonight at 125 pounds, and Jordan Scrum is our Cage Wars champion.
And the thing about that is, these young athletes, they have gas tanks for days at 125. They're not going to get tired. If it goes 3 rounds for 9 minutes, they're going to be going 3 rounds for 9 minutes.
I have been excited about this one since it was announced. This is our second of 5 on the main card. Of course, working our way toward our heavyweight title with Al Morrow versus Josh DePace. Packed house here, another great night at Rivers Casino in Schenectady. Thank you for watching Cage Wars at Stimulus.com. We really appreciate it. My name is Brian. I'm just a fight fan. That's all I am. Will is the expert. It's an honor to sit next to you, my friend.
No, I appreciate it. Just excited to be here. Excited to be here at Rivers. I can't speak enough to this venue and what that provides these young athletes. Being able to perform almost like you're a professional. Back in the day, you used to fight in warehouses, and they used to set up cages in bars, alongside the bar, and just craziness like that. So being able to see these young athletes progress through the sport and have this experience is just amazing.
And have it be done in an arena and that feels like you're watching big-time UFC. Of course, it's extremely safe. A lot of friends and family come out and watch this, and just fight fans in general.
Amazing staff and services here that provide an excellent experience for the fighters and fans alike.
Well, I am excited for this one, as I mentioned. I don't know if I have a feel. I don't know if this stays upright or if it goes down on the ground. I think Jahliel probably wants to take it down. Would you say that Speckhart probably wants to keep this one on his feet?
I'd say Hayden's willing to go where it takes. We're going to bring it up to Mike Falvo for the official announcement.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the following contest on the card for Cage Wars 53 is in our flyweight division, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighed in yesterday 125 pounds, representing Team Jukow out of Clifton Park, New York, Hayden Speckhardt.
I worked with Hayden.
And his opponent across the cage,
really?
fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in yesterday 126 pounds, representing Mohawk Valley Mixed Martial Arts out of Utica, New York, Jahliel Pancho Palmer.
Yeah, Hayden's dad was a colleague of mine. Great guy. It was awesome seeing him a couple of months ago. I said, "That's your son?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?" I'm like, "It sure as hell is." And I congratulated him on the win, and I become a fan. And I'm a fan of both of these guys. But when you get to know the guys a little bit, you're always rooting for them.
Again, I really feel like the distance is going to be the tail of this fight. Oh, there we go. And Jahliel wants to close that distance. Hayden looking to elevate.
And Jahliel looks very, very strong early on here.
But again, Hayden very calm, comfortable. Again, he's been here before.
But I don't think if you're Hayden, obviously, that's not the way you wanted the first 20 seconds to start.
No, absolutely not. The forearm across your face is not a nice welcome to the round.
And he's got some work to do here. But the good thing for him is, early in the fight, he's got full tank of gas.
And there's not a ton of sweat yet. So, the ability to grab an anchor on a joint is much better at this point in the fight. So now let's see if Jahliel can do something to pass this guard or deliver some punishment.
And if you're on the receiving end of this, if you're Speckhart, are you more thinking about, let me just just bring him closer. Let me just close the guard. Maybe wear out, hope my opponent wears out, or are you thinking I've got to fight him back, I've got to punch up to get him off of me?
No, you don't really always want to punch up, especially, you want to keep your composure. You want to negate the immediate threat and then have a plan. And it depends on what your ground game looks like. Some athletes are going to want to just hold them close and get the stand-up. Some are going to want to open up that guard and look to get to a hip and look for an arm lock, look for a sweep, and really be aggressive with their jiu-jitsu. It depends what your style is.
Now, as far as Rick Speckhart, Hayden being his father's Rick, as far as Hayden right now, is what he's doing, is this trained and taught, or is some of it just natural instincts, just sort of understanding angles and stuff like that?
This is mostly taught. There are those savants that just pick these things up very quickly, and there's a lot of crossover maybe from other sports or understandings, but no, this is trained. And you can tell Hayden is doing a nice job, not just closing up and locking the feet together like we've seen a lot tonight.
But we're seeing right now, Jahliel Palmer really just impose his will. And if nothing else, he's just wearing out Hayden Speckhardt at this point and just building up points in a dominating first round.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And now he's starting to land some big punches and ground and pound. And Hayden's got to get out of there.
Well, and Hayden's trying to grab that left arm of Palmer, which is, can put him in threat for an armbar. He's looking to step over.
Listen, Palmer is no stranger to explosive, viral knockouts.
Oh, here we go. Less than a minute. Oh, he tapped! Excellent use of jiu-jitsu. That is the beauty of jiu-jitsu.
Wow!
He was able to promote the right anchors, the leverage, lock that arm, and extend the hips and get that finish.
That was incredible.
That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu. It really, really is.
We have to see that replay. Well, you have to talk me through all of that. I didn't even see it developing until it was already...
You can see him threatening the arm, walking the legs up over the head. I didn't know if he was going to be able to anchor the elbow to the hip. Here we go. Right. So he's delivering the ground and pound right now. They ran it back a little bit for us. He's trying to step over that left arm of Hayden. Hayden does a good job shrimping out.
Wow.
He's keeping that body lock. Jahliel's trying to keep the forward pressure. Now you notice Hayden is side to side. He's getting to a hip. He's avoiding the punishment to the best of his abilities, fighting the arms. He's got the overhook. He's going to open up that guard. Jahliel tries to step over.
At what point, though, does Hayden go from being in a defensive position to an offensive position? I don't even see the switch.
You're going to see right now. He's got a hold of Jahliel's right arm.
Okay.
He's looking for that overhook. See how he's got that right elbow of Jahliel?
Pinned.
He's trying to anchor with that left shin.
While he's taking 10 shots to the head.
Yes, and you'll see him walking that left leg up over the shoulder, now the right leg up over the neck, and he anchors and pins that right arm of Jahliel Palmer against his hip, secures that grip, and provides that leverage, extends the hip, and forces the tap.
That is outstanding.
So here we go, right there.
Now, he tapped before.
It wasn't a hyperextension. He had some torque on it.
He knew it was coming.
And either way, there's that pain, too. It's not always the hyperextension. There's rotation and extension that can cause just as much damage.
Talk to me how difficult is that under those circumstances and the stress of the situation where he was taking 8 shots to the head?
The way that he finished that is not common in this sport because you're not usually always able to anchor that elbow against that body, walk the legs up, and still execute that because it's not a traditional armbar. As you saw, it had that rotation to it as opposed to the straight hyperextension on the elbow.
Well, let's get the final decision. That seems special to me. That was a hell of a performance.
It's composure. It's the beauty of jiu-jitsu.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for one hell of a fight?
Title shot next, perhaps.
Referee Dan Mergliato's called a stop to the fight. 2 minutes, 28 seconds into round number 1 for your winner by way of triangle choke, Hayden Speckhardt.